In this video, I'm going to be building a massive custom LEGO Ninjago temple, filling it with everything the ninja need to live, and then I'm going to see how it holds up against an attack from the Serpentine. So make sure to watch to the end to find out what happens. Let's go. So first I got one of these huge 48x48 base plates that makes a really funny sound when you do this, because I needed something to actually put the temple on. Then I started thinking about how it should look, so I literally went to the drawing board, and this is what I came up with. I would like to have 3 rooms across the back, and a small courtyard with a statue, and then a big wall with 2 gates in the front. The design of this temple is actually based on an old LEGO set called Fort Legorito, which I'd really like, but alas it is expensive and hard to find. And it is also based, of course, on the monastery. And then I really wanted to get building, though the only problem was I had no pieces to actually build with, so like any sane person I gathered up all my Ninjago structures and completely demolished them, which actually physically hurt me to do. And whilst I was fine with destroying these sets, I couldn't bring myself to hurt the Ninjago city sets. And this here is what 5 destroyed temples look like. And I also parted out this Minecraft set because it had a bunch of useful pieces. And after taking apart every piece one by one, it was time to get building. But I then realised that this would take way too long to do on my own, so I made a little robot assistant who's called Rob, which stands for Robotic Oppressed Builder. Don't ask why he's oppressed. Now it was actually time to get building, so we started with the most important room in any house, the gaming room, where the ninja could sit around, unwind, and throw the controller through the television when they lose a match of Fortnite. And the exterior of the games room is now complete. You can see I put a pair of sliding doors here, as well as some dragons on either side. There's also some lanterns hanging from these big red doors used as an awning. And you may notice there is a hole in the wall, and you'll soon see why I put that there. And so the first thing that I built to put in the gaming room is this little desk which has a PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch and a TV on it. And the next thing I wanted to put in this room is this little mini fridge which is stocked with G Fuel to keep the ninja going whilst they're gaming. And the next thing that every gaming room ever needs is some sick gaming chairs so the ninja can relax, get really comfortable and then get into the zone whilst playing. I also wanted to include this little vending machine which looks really nice, though if you turn it around it looks a little bit sus. And you can now see just why I left that hole in the wall. The room is coming along really nicely now, and I think the ninja would definitely enjoy being in here. Though the very final thing that every single hangout space needs is of course a pool table. Though this one I didn't design, I just took from the Ninjago City markets. And I'd say that makes the gaming room just about complete. So now it's time for Rob and I to get started on the ninja's bedroom, which will go on the left side of this room. So I got to work on building the ninja's bedroom, and I had no plan on how this was going to turn out, so I ended up just winging it and praying that it looked good in the end. And it ended up being a whole lot better than I expected it to be. The interior is honestly nothing much, just a whole bunch of basic bricks, but it's the front that I'm really happy about. I love the design of it, and I like the fact that it overlaps the red awning perfectly. I added some lanterns in the front for extra decoration, and then it was time to start filling the interior. On the inside I put 6 different uncomfortable looking beds that I stole from Minecraft. Each one is a different colour that corresponds with their respective ninja. There is also this small shelf which has various knickknacks on it, like a fish tank and some micro-scale ninja. And I also designed this weird case sort of thing that holds this possessed looking tapestry. And then I put them both down in the ninja's bedroom, though personally I wouldn't want to have this evil looking picture in my room. The last thing I had to do was put this small poster on the wall, and then I think that just about completes the ninja's bedroom. It was now time to build the last main room of the building, which I wanted to be a bathroom. Once again there was no plan here, I just went in and sort of made it up on the spot, and I'm really glad with how it actually ended up turning out. As you can see, I wanted it to look a lot different from the other two, and I'm glad I was able to use those big weird brown cockpit pieces. I also like the look of all these little shields on the roof. The only thing is now it resembles 3 takeaway shops. And there's a pretty big interior in here, so let's see how we can fill it. So the first thing I started building for the bathroom was this little shower design, which turned out well, and then I started making this tiled pattern design on the floor. I put in this wooden door thing with a picture of Woo over here for some privacy, and then the bathroom was pretty much done. So over on the left here is a little shower, then on the right there's a sink, a picture of Woo and the sus vending machine. There's also a toilet, but not just any toilet, a skibbity toilet. Sorry, that was a terrible joke. Anyway, I wasn't quite sure what to put in the front here, but then I thought maybe it could be like a place where the ninjas sort of store old weapons and artifacts, because it makes perfect logical sense to have that right next to the bathroom. And as you can see, there's a relic from most seasons of Ninjago. Just don't question some of the logic here, like how the Sword of Fire exists at the same time as the Mega Weapon. And now the 3 main rooms were done, and I was really happy with how they turned out so far. Though I don't really think this looks like the entrance to a bathroom, and as stated before, they do look like takeaway shops, though I am very happy with all the angles here. And if you're enjoying the video so far, please consider leaving a like or a comment. Thanks. And now it was time to actually give a roof to this structure. So as usual, I just came up with a design on the spot. Unfortunately, due to the pieces I was working with, I was unable to make the roof all the same colour. I then put some railing on the top so the building was up to code. At this point I had run out of most substantial pieces, so I was unable to add another level to the building, so instead I just added this little spire bit to the top. I added a little ladder for accessibility, and then in the top I added a bell, and then made a little area where Wu can come and drink tea in peace. On the front I put this dragon head here, and then that was just about it for the main structure. It was fully complete now. All that was left now was to add small details, like this statue of Golden Wu in the centre of the courtyard. As well as this small little tree on the left which has yellow leaves, which accounts for the leaves on the roof of the ninja's bedroom. And now the small little courtyard was starting to come along. Then I had a bit of a Jimmy Neutron brain blast and realised that the Wu statue would look better if it was on top of water. And then it was time to start putting the wall around the temple. And the only things I had left to make the wall out of were these big ugly rock pieces, more commonly known as burps in the LEGO community. I continued placing rocks all along the front to really build up the terrain and to form a sort of natural barrier against the outside. Then on the right side, I made the wall mostly out of these big basic bricks. They were the only structural pieces left at this point. And then on the left side I did pretty much the same, except over here I added a couple of little escape hatches. And then the final thing I did was add some training equipment for the ninja to use, some of which you may recognise from my custom Ninjago Advent Calendar series of shorts last month. And now the main structure was 100% done, and I was really happy with the way it turned out. It all looks great, and I especially loved the architecture on these 3 rooms, and I also really liked the interior design. And now all that was left to do was place the ninja and watch the battle ensue, so I put Kai guarding the gate here at the front, Wu can go up the top in his tea drinking area, Lloyd is down here with the training equipment, and Cole is up here on the right side of the temple guarding the roof. Zane is at the left guarding the trapdoor, Jay is standing in the middle doing nothing, and Nia is guarding the front gates with her brother. And it was now time for the battle to begin, as Wu saw Pythor and his Serpentine approaching on the horizon. They stood menacingly at the front for a minute, before commencing their attack plan. Stage 1 of the Serpentine's plan was just to run and jump at the walls and try and climb them, which failed tremendously and the ninja just pointed and laughed at them. Stage 2 of their plan was to run at the walls with ladders and try and climb over, which also failed tremendously, because Kai just set the ladders on fire and burnt them to piles of ash. Stage 3 of the Serpentine's plan was to try and sneak through the trapdoors at the side. Luckily, Zane was there to deal with that. The Serpentine then ran away crying, tails between their literal and metaphorical legs. The ninja then all stood around and cheered and clapped and celebrated this unsurprisingly easy victory. And that just about concludes the video. If you'd like to see me build more cool Ninjago buildings and things like this, please consider liking, commenting or sharing the video around. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. That's been all for today folks, have a great day and see you next week.